Delegates. Delegate is represents a reference to a method with a specific parameter listed and return type. Delegates are used in to pass method as a argument to other methods, which can be useful in events and callback functions, which will be similarly like a C function pointer, but it's a type safe. Single cast delegate, multicast delegate we have seen now, and we'll see what is built-in delegates. By default in C#, okay, in .NET there are some built-in delegates. We'll see now. So how those delegates will work, we'll see now. Okay, so there are 3 steps involved in delegate. Yesterday we have seen delegate declaration of the delegate, like this access modifier, delegate keyword, return type, delegate name, and if any parameters. Second step, instantiation. For example, delegate demo, that is your delegate name. Delegate demo object equals to new delegate name of, here you will pass the method name. Add value is nothing but your method. So executing the delegate, just calling the delegate. If it is a static method, we can call directly like this. If it is an instance method, then we can call inside the method. I mean here, if it is a static method, we can directly call like this. If it is instance method, object name dot method name like. So this is how we are going to execute the delegate. So either you can call delegate invocation or delegate dot invoke and use. Next we have seen single cast delegate, calling single method at a time. Delegate, we have written some message. Multicast delegate, calling multiple methods at a time. We have seen these things. Okay, now what are the built-in delegates? .NET provides several built-in delegate types, okay, that are nothing but func, action, predicate. These are all the 3 built-in delegates provided by .NET. So as we know, it's mainly used in the event handling and the callback mechanism. The link queries will be using the delegates. So these are all type safe we have already discussed. Now let's see how this action delegate will work. So now represents a method that take one or more input parameters, does not return any value, which is void type, which will take one or more input parameters up to 16. More means up to 16 parameters. Here it is mentioned. Okay, so from 0 to 16 parameters. Okay, it can allow here like this parameters. Okay, so when we will use the action delegate, we can have 0 to 16 parameters we can give, and it won't return anything because it is a void type. So this is called action delegate. Let's see the example in Visual Studio. So this is our multicast delegate. Yesterday we have seen, and we have single cast delegate we have seen last class. Now we'll see the built-in delegates. We'll create one more folder, delegates. So we'll see now action delegate example. What I'll do, public delegate void action delegate. You can give my action delegate, something like this morning, right? So this is my delegate. I'll have a method static void print hello, something like this. I have some methods or print value. Okay, so here if I take one argument, so it is allowing 0 or more arguments also. For example, if I have one value, it can print one value into a console.write line, yeah, something like this, or a value is like this. Okay, so this is your action delegate. So this is how we are going to declare. So which will take arguments of 0 to 16, up to 16 arguments itla 0 to 16 arguments itla. So now I'll have one main method. So just write your delegate name, object action delegate equals. So what is your method name? Print value. So this is your method name. And how you call the delegate? Just invoke the delegate of some 10 you give. So now what will happen? Keep a debugger here, keep a debugger here, keep a debugger here. Delegate declaration, delegate instantiation means where we are going to assign the value method to a delegate. So now we'll get the value output of 10. So now here this is your normal single cast delegate. Now I want to make this as action. How you will do? Action delegate of what is the return type you want to give? Integer action equals to print value. So which will allow integer only. So here which does not support. Why? Because there is no method which will accept the string, because we have the delegate of only integer only. So what I'll do? I'll give. So it is strictly following the typecasting, right? So it does not allow other type of values. 101. Okay, this is your action delegate. So here which can take inputs of from 0 to 16 elements, which does not return any value because which is a void type. Now let's run this console.read or read key, comment this. So 2 times it got executed 100. So you can also do like this here, action in top like this also you can give. Either you can directly assign the method or you can give like this way. Okay, so it got executed 2 times. So this is called action delegate example. So now we'll see another type, which is func. So what is this func delegate will do? Func delegate also represent a method that takes 0 or more input parameters. More means up to 16. This is also okay. But at last means at end, you have to specify the return type. Last argument. How many arguments you mentioned? Last arguments will be the your return type. For example, if you see func arguments I take, add. So for method, I have 1, 2, int, and the third one is your return type. So here string, two arguments, and the third one is your return type. Okay. So now, so here you don't need to declare delegate like when you use action, func, those things, because it's a built-in delegate. You no need to declare like this. So for example, if you want a string value, you can have one more method which can do the string also. Let's see in the func now. So what I'll do, I'll create one method, public integer add int x int y. Okay. So which will do the return x plus y. So this is one method. So now if I want to create a func delegate to this, how I'll create func of which will take integer arguments int a int. So first two are the input arguments. Third one will be the output return result. Okay, my func equals add. So you can't give add now. Why? Because it is a non-static method. If it is a static method, you can directly assign the value like this. Okay, now console.writeLine or int result equals my func. So which will expect the arguments like this, console.writeLine result. Okay, now I'll keep the debugger here. I'll keep the debugger here. Let's run this. We'll get the out. So for example, I'll take a string here. Okay, convert that to string of a string x. So now what I should give? Can you tell me, guys? Func of what is the first argument? String, right? Second argument, integer, right? And what is the return type? String. I have to mention here. My func2 equals to add. It will go to this method. Okay, result2. Now what it will do? 1, 2 it will give, right? 1 plus 2 means concatenate it will do. It don't do the addition because of the string operand. Let's run this. So we have to call this way. One like this. Why it is not allowing? Okay, my func2 right string cannot implicitly convert type. Okay, here to integer. It should be string here. Okay, now it will be first will be 3, second will be 1. This will give you the 3. Other method should give me 1, 2, right? This is my func, which will take 0 to 16 input arguments and which will return the value. So we can also give like this. For example, I have like this int x int y x plus y plus z. Convert that to int to string. So let me remove the static. How you have to give this? I'll create one more object to that func of input arguments. Tell me, guys. Integer, comma, what next? Integer, comma, integer. Very good. And comma string. String, right? What is the return type here? String. Last argument should be your return type. Func3 equals new my func of. You will specify your method name. What is your method name? Add. So you can't give add like this because it is a non-static method. So what you need to do? You have to create a object for it. How you create object? Obj example equals example dot like this you will assign. So now what are the values you have to give? Values you have to give like a return. It should return the value. A string result equals all are integers 1, 2, 3 result 3 semicolon console.writeLine result 3 like this. Now let's run this. Debugger here, run this. We'll get the first time it will go to this method. Second time it will go to second method. Third time 3 arguments it will go to this method and give you the output like this. This is called y6 we are getting because all are integers only. It will do the addition. Later it is converting to string. That's it. Okay. So this is called func delegate. Or if it is a float type, then here convert that to single. That is your float. Here float, here also float. Like this. Got it? So this is called func delegate. So next we have one more type called predicate. Predicate delegate example. Just a predicate delegate example. How predicate will work? Represents a method that take one or more input parameters. But not one or more, one input parameter, and it returns a Boolean value, either true or false. So that is predicate. Okay. For example, public pool is valid age. Int age. If age is greater than or equals to 18, return true, else return false. Okay, like this. So this is your method. And if I want to create my predicate of integer x equals to new predicate int of, I have to give the method is, so it's not a static method. Let me give the static method validation. So this is predicate. Let me give you one more int in what it is giving. So predicate requires only one argument. It won't allow more than one argument. And the return type should be Boolean only. If it is a int, we'll get error here. What is this? The predicate example has wrong return type. It should be a Boolean type, then only it will allow. Okay. So now bool result equals predicate example of age 20. So now print that console.write line of result. Second, predicate example 2. So directly let me call inside the write line so that no need to assign to another third variable here. So here I'll give 2 years. It should give me true. It should give me false. Console dot read key. So now let me run this. Keep it over here. Run the application. So I'll create the object like this. Now predicate. Check the age. If it is greater than age, return true. Second scenario, age is 2 years, it will return the false. So what should be the output? True and false. Correct. Now, if it is a string value input, then you can pass the string. String name. So if value is there, if string dot string dot is null or empty of name means if it is not null, then it will return the true, or else it will return the false. In this case, we are not giving any value. Let's see. Example 3. So what I'm giving here, let me pass null. Why? This is string. So which is not allowing. Let me give you question mark here. This is called nullable. Okay, what is this nullable? I'll explain you later. Okay, means which will allow the null value. Okay, so string by default will allow the null value. Let me give you null here. Okay, so now what will happen? It should return false. Why? Because let's see, value is null or empty. I am checking condition. True, false. So this is third case. So name, what is name now? Null. So condition will return true. So name is empty. That's why it is returning the true. Right? So this is called predicate. Three things we want to know. First is action, which will take 0 to 16 input arguments and which won't return anything, which is a void type. And func, which will take 0 to 16 input arguments and the last argument should be your return type. And predicate, which will take one argument as input argument and which will return the Boolean value. Understood? This is called built-in delegates in C#.NET. We have built-in delegates, action, func, and predicate.